Welcome back. Still tuned in to Salam Media with myself, Salalo Makridiri. The time is 10 minutes before the top of the hour. And we'll be chatting to Inayat Wadi in a bit. You know him, you love him. He's Salam Media's senior anchor and one of the people that are, you know, spearheading this very, very interesting tour that kickstarted yesterday. Youmna El-Sayed's glimpses of Gaza tour. I think it was really, really interesting yesterday when we kickstarted the tour. Started with a brilliant engagement, an intimate but brilliant engagement. Most South African journalists and media practitioners out at the Hyatt Hotel in Sandton. And then yesterday at the Lakewood Conference Center, we had a massive, massive, massive public event. And we had the former Minister of DERCO, Naledi Pando, making part of the panel there. And it was another brilliant, brilliant one. And just to think, just the first day of the tour was this brilliant. I can only imagine what the rest of the tour has in store. And to give us insight on that is Inayat Wadi. Uncle Inayat, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us. And a bit weird to have you on the other side of the call, but really glad to chat to you.
Well, Assalamu alaikum to you, Salilo, and to all the listeners, and obviously wonderful being on the other side, as you mentioned, for the stage. And forget being the senior anchor, I think you are one of the rising stars at Salam Media. So, alhamdulillah, wonderful. I think this is our very first interview that you and I are having, so it will go down memory lane.
Yeah, I think we need to podcast this one, and it needs to stay somewhere framed. It's a momentous occasion. But another thing that's a momentous occasion is the Youmna El-Sayed tour. I think if we could just recap on yesterday at the Hyatt Hotel, that engagement with South African journalists. It was a really, really proper one. I was there. It was streamed live on our social media platforms for anyone that might have missed it. But from your point of view, what did you make of it?
Well, I'll tell you what, we're talking about going down memory lane. This press conference was the perfect start, actually, to kick off the tour by Youmna El-Sayed. And really, I was blown away, personally, and I'm sure many of the others, and the feedback has been extremely positive from all the media personalities and journalists and the other people who were there. So it started off on a very, very high note, I must say, Salilo. Youmna El-Sayed, we know who she is. She is world-renowned. She is award-winning journalist as well. And, her humanity, her excellence, courageous qualities that she's had as a Palestinian journalist actually showed out featured very, very prominently. It featured very, very profoundly at the press conference. And as I said, it was the perfect start. I followed what took place last night on Monday, and unfortunately, I wasn't there live, but really from what I've seen from the response, and also coming through from a lot of people that have obviously been to me as well. People are excited. I am excited. I think this is one of the most exciting tour because this actually ties up with what Salam Media has been doing since inception, humanitarian journalism. And yesterday, we heard Youmna talking about humanized media coverage, why it is extremely important. And this is the message. This is going to be the message that is going to go across the length and breadth of the country as we make our way through to many parts around South Africa. And also tonight, this evening, late afternoon, as we head to Botswana. Now, we're clearly excited about Botswana because this is the very first time we've reached out to a neighboring country. And let me tell you, Salilo, the hype is there. There is huge hype. They are actually awaiting Youmna El-Sayed with eagerness. There's just so much, many high-profile people as well. At the same time, looking at the media, there is a massive interest as far as the media is concerned, and generally the people of Botswana as well. And I am led to believe that they are going to be pulling out all stops to make this a very, very memorable visit for both Salam Media and Youmna El-Sayed.
No, definitely. And I think if there's one question I'd like to ask you, as a seasoned journalist, as someone that's been in the industry for quite some time, and covering all of the atrocities that have been happening in Gaza and having such close proximity with the journalists, and the people that living and experiencing the hardships of the ongoing occupation and right now the ongoing genocide. Why is it so important that Salam Media took the stance of this is not the first campaign that we've had. We had the Dr. Mads Gilbert campaign. Now we're having Youmna, and we had other various campaigns before. Why is it so important to bring the people of Gaza close to South Africans, closer to the people who always go out to the streets and protest, and might not have the opportunity to kind of sense and touch, someone who's from Gaza, who's lived under the yoke of oppression from the Israeli occupying forces their whole lives. Why do you think it's so important to embark on such campaigns?
Well, no, there are a number of reasons. Firstly, we see a lot of synergy in terms of what we're doing at Salam Media and what Youmna El-Sayed actually stands for. And she made it clear as well, and when one looks at her bio as well, she says, journalism is not only about the educational qualification, it is about living a journalist, and particularly when it comes to journalists becoming activists. And this is exactly what Salam Media has been doing all along. Apart from just reporting, apart from just talking on the airwaves, it is about living the reality. And this is exactly what it's all about. And this is what Youmna spoke about yesterday as well, where she says, what you see on the television screens is nothing compared to what you actually experience. And this is the reason why Salam Media has actually brought her here to bring that first-hand account. Some of it will be obviously hardcore. It's going to be highly emotional. And we see the emotion. We've seen the emotion in Youmna El-Sayed yesterday, even at the press conference when she spoke about her colleagues, about how close she was to colleagues. Some of them were close to her, just like a brother as well. And when she sees all of this, and again, the point that I had also made in my address, talking about the mainstream media coverage of the genocide, the deep biases that exist, and all of that these narratives need to be debunked, which is exactly what we're doing as well. We've seen so much in terms of selective language. We've seen one-sided, we've seen biased perspectives to justify this violence. And it is up to us, and it is up to people like Youmna in particular, who was there in Gaza at the height of this genocide, who has seen firsthand what is actually happening. And this is what she is going to bring into the country. This is what media in South Africa needs to understand. This is what the people in South Africa need to understand. And this is what they are looking for. And I don't know, Salilo, if you can recall at the beginning of this attack on Gaza that had taken place, when the genocide initially started to unfold, we were in a position where we were able to get first-hand accounts out of Gaza at what was happening on the ground, until all communications, until everything was blocked off. And this is when we were kept in the dark. And this is another reason why it is so important for us at Salam Media to network, to link up with people like Youmna El-Sayed. And again, a small independent media organization here in South Africa, but it can make a huge impact. And that impact was certainly felt yesterday at the media press conference. I've already seen certain publications. I've seen a headline article that appeared in the Star that covered yesterday's press conference. So there is a lot that I think we can do. And we're a small team, but at the end of the day, it requires dedication, it requires sincerity, and it requires the will to make sure that the truth and the realities are actually brought out into the open.
No, definitely. And I think what's at the core of Youmna's tour, particularly for us here on Salam Media, is the support of independent journalists and independent, media outlets like ourselves, because the people that we're going up against are very organized. They are well funded, and they have a bigger and wider reach. Why would it be so important, and why should people be supporting this initiative that Salam Media is undertaking, not just for themselves and, to learn and understand from someone that has a first-hand experience on what's currently happening in Gaza, but for the broader implications when it comes to media and the narrative that is being pushed out to the public when it comes to this genocide. Why should people support it from a journalistic and media point of view?
Well, it's extremely important, and as you pointed out, you speak about the world media, you speak about mainstream media, we speak about corporate media, and we know that there is huge funding. In fact, it is actually owned, corporate media, actually owned by the media moguls right across the entire world, and we cannot hide away from that fact. But within our limitations, whether we are funded or we are not, and I think this is important. And I think independent media has got a major role to play. It's got a huge role to play, and the funding is actually extremely important. And I'll tell you the reason why. Because we have witnessed how corporate media has been used to evoke emotions. We have witnessed how corporate media has been used to sway opinions. We have witnessed how corporate media has been used to influence narratives. There is so much that corporate media is doing to get into the hearts and into the minds of people. And this is where we come in, where we're saying that, you know what, not everything is black and white as you see on your television screen. Not everything is black and white as you read. And this is the reason why we are saying that we need an alternative. And the alternative is definitely independent media like Salam Media. To an extent, social media has played its role, but again, yesterday there were huge discussions surrounding social media and the impact social media can have. Yes, it has had an impact to a certain extent, but social media is an open book and anybody can post what they want to without verifying anything, without verifying the facts. And this is why I'm saying, so independent media gets to the source. And this is extremely important. And this is what we at Salam Media are doing by getting someone like Youmna El-Sayed to South Africa to get directly to the source. A person who was physically there, a person who has witnessed things physically, a person who has reported physically as well. And again, with her limitations in terms of, just being on air for a few minutes or just reporting, but again, getting even a deeper insight. Because when Youmna El-Sayed is not on air, when she's not in front of the television screen, there is a lot more happening behind the scenes. And this is the reason why this is so important as well, Laila.
Yeah, definitely. We'll be sharing those details on that Botswana tour on our various social media platforms. You'll be traveling out this afternoon with the rest of the team. Wish you all the best. We'll be, covering it. We'll be getting some clips and videos coming out of Botswana, definitely. And I'm sure you're excited. Have you sharpened up on your Botswana yet?
I have actually, and I'll be honest, I'm actually looking forward to it because this is not the first for me, but it's the first for Salam Media as well in terms of announcing our presence in a neighboring country in Botswana. And I think it's not about an individual; it's about an entire team. And once again, Salilo, I want to use this opportunity to commend our team at Salam Media, to commend Shamsheer Khan, who had the foresight, and I was listening to our COO, Ponti Molasani, last night, where he says this idea was actually conceived in 2021 already to get Youmna El-Sayed in South Africa. And finally it's happened. It's become a reality. And once again, our small team has actually rallied behind, and I'm sure not only Botswana, but right across the entire country, it's going to be a huge success, inshallah.
I mean, thank you so much, Aguilar. I know you must go and prepare. So we're going to leave it here. Osale Hantle. That's what they say in Botswana.
Okay. I'll remember that one. I'll remember that one, Solilo.
All
Okay.
right, cheers, Agili.
All right.
Night. There you have it.
No problem. Take care, sir. Thanks for having me this morning, Salailo. All the best to you. Salaam
I
alaikum.
mean, thank you so much, Akil Knight. There you have it, the glimpses of Gaza. This is going to be taking place on Friday, tomorrow, August the 23rd, 2024. And this is going to be Youmna El-Sayed's Botswana leg of her tour to Southern Africa. And all the details are up on our social media. So be a part of it. This is something much bigger than any of us. And Salam Media is just a stepping stone in trying to bring Gaza is close to us, South Africans, the people that resonate with the people of Palestine more than anyone in the world, that much closer to us to try and further understand, the lived realities of the people of Gaza and the West Bank and the rest of Palestine. It's going to be a good one. And I'm sure after Botswana, Youmna will be coming back to South Africa, and she'll be, making a tour, I think. Pietermaritzburg is on the cards. I think Cape Town is also on the cards. So just keep your eyes peeled onto Salam Media and our various social media platforms to get the latest. We have come to the end of our show, but I'm not leaving you just like that. I'm leaving you in the capable hands of Hafiz Imran Chunara, the CEO of AMA. And this is the Fired Up segment. And today's topic is, unlike the stomach, the brain does not notify you when it's empty. Enjoy. Goodbye.